welcome, Dave. I recognize it any day with a bonsai tree. And the other side, Dave.
Just in case it didn't work.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm at a place called Plymouth near Philadelphia, and I'm staying at the Hilton Hotel, and it's in a beautiful setting. Look at the lovely trees that are around. The spring flowers are all in bloom. Lots of trees with white flowers, spruces, junipers, and the landscaping is beautiful. Look at that mulch they've got. Today is the 9th of April, and you must be wondering where I am. I'm in fact in the United States. I'm near Philadelphia and at a very, very famous public garden called Longwood Gardens. I'll tell you about Longwood Gardens later on, but it's one of these private gardens which is open to the public. It has enormous resources. Can you see the state-of-the-art greenhouses they have? And I'm in the cool house where they grow these sweet peas and bedding plants. And lo and behold, in the distance, you will see some bonsai there. And what do we have here? We have all these beautiful Kusunomo maples in all sorts of states of development. And look at that wonderful collection. Because it's a private collection, it's not a commercial nursery, they devote a lot of resources into making these beautiful, beautiful things. And they have a lot of staff, extremely well resourced, and of course, everything is perfect. And for instance, here there's a beautiful example of a swamp cypress with beautiful taper, about 1.1 meter tall. All the branches are perfect, everything is perfect. Maples which they're developing themselves. Everything is perfection here. This is a Kotobuki black pine. They import quite a few trees too. We will show you in a minute the quality of some of the trees. It puts us to shame, really. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. These are just some of the accent plantings of Kusunomo. I'm going to take my time and show it to you. I'm going to have to ask permission for them to let me show this on my YouTube channel. But since everything is about perfection, I'm sure they don't mind. I just want to share with the rest of the world what real bonsai is like outside Japan. And this is some of the very best. Even in Japan, I don't think you would get quality of bonsai of this standard. See, they're making their own cuttings.
Because he wasn't able to move it safely anymore. So, of course, when he makes a 30-second tree forest, that doesn't make it easier for himself.
So here we are. Now I'm going to start showing you some of the trees that are here. These are their procumbens junipers. Beautifully styled with so much detail. And because they're not commercial trees, everything is made to perfection. Everything is about perfection. This is a magnolia which is being styled and created from nothing.
Okay. Can you roll that in yourself, or do you need? Okay. Well, great.
And these have been styled by great masters. To mention some, like Marco Inverness works here quite a bit. This is an exquisite black pine. Absolutely exquisite.
Stay late Monday night to spray conservatory spaces, so I have to shave off a few hours one basis, we can, tomorrow we're moving trees, and Friday we'll go. Very, very limited right now. Well, I already have a lot of, yeah, this week. That's the extent of it, yeah.
What sort of azalea is this one?
Kurume.
Kurumi, okay. But with very small leaves. And originally collected from the grounds of Longwood Gardens.
This was in Fairmount Park in
Okay.
Philadelphia.
Oh,
This was, I think the story is this was a gift from France to the U.S. for our centennial in
Really?
1876. So, there's several of these, not just this one tree.
okay. All right. Okay, can I come? Most of these are imported trees, aren't they? Like this Zelkova, I suppose.
A large percentage are, yes.
Look at that pomegranate. It's about at least 5 foot tall. The trunk is about 6 to 8 inches in diameter with all this natural shari. I believe it was collected somewhere in the United States, not an imported tree, but stunning, stunning to say the least. Many of these pines, like the black pines and white pines, are all Japanese trees. High quality Japanese trees. Look at this one. Planted at that angle. And all these are spruce. That looks like a hemlock to me. And look at the meticulous grooming of this black pine. Enoki. Sadly, this one didn't make it. Apparently the compost they use is just akadama and pumice and some organic fertilizer like rapeseed fertilizer, biogold, that's an apricot, Chinese elms. looks like a hemlock.
You have anything to show? At the exhibit? Okay.
And these are the chrysanthemum bonsai being trained, all created here. Isn't it beautiful? Just like the Chinese do. Look at these ginkgos. The diameter must be like 18 inches in diameter of the base. Look at that.
The original artist shares something in common with you.
Yes.
His name, Peter Wilson.
Okay.
Yep, from Canada.
So it's Canadian artist originally. Was it trained?
Exactly. Yep. Just a not by profession, but he's a collector.
Beautiful.
Enjoyed it as a hobby.
Very nice. So I'm privileged to be in Longwood Gardens with the Bonsai collection, and here's the curator, and he's Kevin. Can you introduce yourself, Kevin?
Yes, I'm Kevin Balicki. I've been the curator at Longwood for a little over 7 years now, and we're pleased to have Peter here joining us today on this beautiful day and sharing a little bit of our new collection here at
And
Longwood.
I'm really impressed. And you've got the state-of-the-art facilities here. This beautiful greenhouse, acclimatized, and the trees are all in perfect condition. It makes me feel ashamed of my own trees, and it is really joy to see the quality of the trees. And they're about to go outside soon, did you say?
They are. Yep, they'll be going outside soon, and we're very fortunate to have a space like this to grow our trees. Temperatures are warming now, things are leafing out.
So before you had this facility, this greenhouse, where did you keep it? Just an ordinary conservatory?
Yeah, so before this we had our display in a linear format, much smaller than we had before, and there was a greenhouse directly behind our former display. But it didn't really get the ideal lighting conditions that we needed. So this is a major improvement with the state-of-the-art facility.
And this bonsai collection been at Longwood for how long?
We started our collection in 1959.
As long as that?
Yeah.
My
yep.
goodness.
Yeah, we were inspired by Yuji Yoshimura, who did a demonstration here, and after
Okay.
that, we purchased 13 of his trees.
Oh, gosh. Do you still have his original trees here or not? Or have they died?
We have 4 of them in the collection
Okay.
today.
They're not in here?
2 of them are in here, actually.
Which one is that?
We have the Japanese Alcova here.
Really?
And
Would
this
it be
is,
in his first book? You know, he produced one and only book,
Sure,
isn't it?
that's a good question. I haven't looked through that thoroughly, but I'd have to take a look.
Yoshimura's tree. Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
And then we have another Yuji tree here. It's our
Ginkgo.
Ginkgo. Yep.
Is what a Japanese tree or the indigenous to grown here?
They are grown here as well.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But this tree gets very spectacular fall color. I love
Okay.
the bark character color
Yeah.
on it.
Have you ever attempted to reduce the height of this tree?
Not,
It's okay, isn't
yeah,
it?
not too much on this tree. For this particular tree, we try to preserve some of the integrity of the
Okay.
original artist's
All
intent.
right. It looks okay.
But
It's different as a broom style, isn't it? It's
it
quite
is.
different.
It's a little bit more informal,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. But the age is quite important.
Yeah.
So how over 100 easily?
This one is a 1909 tree.
1909, they're over 100.
It is, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, traditionally the broom style you'll see much more compact,
Yeah, that's
much
right.
smaller. Yep.
Yeah, and of course there is what you call the inverse taper.
A little bit there. Yeah.
Too many branches from one point, but it's an exquisite tree. Exquisite tree. All right. So, and did you say many of these were from the Kennett collection? Did you say?
Yeah, so we recently received a major donation from the Kennett collection. So over 50 of these are from his
Okay.
personal collection.
Okay. So
Many
how many trees are there in this Longwood collection of bonsai?
we have over 150.
Over 150. That's massive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're always
More than the
growing.
national collection in Washington.
They have more
They have
in
more?
their collection.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And what's different about theirs than ours is they're able to display most of their collection year round. We rotate ours and also have full access to the Kennett collection's private
But in the
trees.
winter you can't display it. You don't display your bonsai, do you?
We do display bonsai, so we
Okay.
have an all outdoor year-round display.
Okay.
So during the harshest conditions, there are times where we'll be closed for a day or two
Okay.
if we're into the single digits, way below freezing.
Okay.
So
Okay. Are we going to go and see that then?
we are. Yep,
Okay.
we take
Okay,
a look.
great. I've never seen a variegated agapanthus. What are the flowers like? Normal blue or white?
Light blue.
Light blue. Did you say these are going out on display?
Some of these will be heading out tomorrow.
Oh. You.
It's doing really well.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's definitely on its way. The challenging spot for a tree like that, though, is with all the asphalt around it, direct sun.
The end one may not be. The ones in the center may be oaks. The bark is
Yeah,
like
the ones
oak.
in the center look a bit more.
Like this looks like an oak. A lot of catkins. So this is the main conservatory or greenhouse, similar to the Wisley greenhouse, but on a much, much larger scale.
Yeah.
Not the full display, but what's left.
Oh, beautiful.
Last year I did the crystalline strand tree here. The outside designer took 510 hours of labor to put that together. I don't know if you compare it to some of Kevin's design.
So do you have the lilies all year round? Because it's out of season, isn't it?
Occasionally we do, yeah. We always have little spurts of them.
Roses as well. Oh. Look at that. Oh.
The other side is quite amazing.
Triangle palm. Dipsus.
Almost has an optical illusion right from head on.
Yeah, looks artificial,
It very
isn't
much
it?
is on one side.
Yeah, it doesn't look real. Huh, triangular palm. I'm surprised there's no name like Triangularis or something. Huh? Dipsus triangularis. Patricia.
Very end of this month, they're doing some sort of dedication, and then mid-May is where it really opens. Yeah. I don't play it.
So this is a special bonsai courtyard or the bonsai collection of the famous gardens here.
We tried to tuck them up.
When it's talking about the age of the tree versus how long it's been tree.
This is fairly new.
Yep, this opened in last November to the
Only
public.
last November.
Exactly, yep. So this is our first spring in the space, first time seeing the cherry blossoms.
Do you think the hedge works as a backdrop?
It defines the space.
Okay.
It creates a little more of an intimate space
Yeah.
having them for sure. It can be at times because we have that large field on the opposite side.
May just be a different way of training and trimming.
What's the history of this tree?
This is an import from Japan. This tree is on loan from the Kennett collection.
On loan?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's been in the States maybe about 10 years now, reworked by Marco Invernizzi.
Okay. And what pot is that? That's a beautiful pot.
That's a good question. I don't know the mate. It could be, some parts tell me it could be like a Yamaki pot, but I
Oh.
haven't seen any nailhead Yamakis.
Yeah. So it would have come bare root.
Bare root,
Good
completely
grief.
bare root, yeah. So, you know, once they're imported, it takes a good 5-6 years even to start reworking them heavily again. This is a Kimura tree. When it was imported, it lost the lower branch, but Marco did the initial reworking of this and really rebalanced out the design of it nicely. Root over rock, Japanese white.
Like the stands. Beautiful.
If you ever have the opportunity, this is a place to check out multiple times during the day too. The evening effect is, and right around sunset is one of my favorite times. You just get enough glow on the backdrops, and you're getting the sun setting in the back. It's killer.
Yeah, the lights are a nice touch.
The tree directly ahead of you, Peter. This is a Bjorn tree. This came from his collection. This is also on loan from the Kennett collection. It's beautiful.
Is it a native pine or imported?
This is a limber pine.
Oh,
Extremely old tree. Beautiful character in the dead wood and bark.
collected.
Yep.
So it must be almost collected like this, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure the original orientation it was, but I imagine it was at a similar angle, and then still has some of the initial wiring on there too.
So how often do you change the collection?
So it's always aiming to show trees at peak interest. So any given week we could change a tree or two, but we have 4 major change outs throughout the year, especially when the azaleas are pouring out of tropical trees. The citrus are leaving out, that's starting this week. We'll showcase those. This is one of my favorite trees.
What's the history of this one?
This is another, this one might be maybe around 15, 20 years in the U.S., part of the Kennett collection here. Really beautiful movement on this particular tree.
This must have been several million yen,
Probably.
about $1 million.
Probably.
No,
That's a
half
good
a
question.
million.
Yeah, maybe that. at
Half a
most,
million
yeah.
dollars.
Maybe now it's worth that. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Probably Kisu, isn't it? Kisu variety.
Yep, I'd say so. Really nice
Yeah.
compact foliage.
I like the stands, beautiful stands. Who designed the stand?
Are the design firm that came in that
Okay.
did the buildings and everything. They were part of this. Beautiful Nishiki here. That's one of the trees that really has that
again, is it the Kenneth collection?
This is one of our permanent trees.
Okay. That's a beautiful pot.
It's like Japanese black pine, but it has that
I was kind of talking to Joe the other day, just that I was telling her about, remember when Amy was hugging trees at attic wood?
This one's got
Oh, really?
maps too. Now you know all three trees. It's no surprise for you. Well, now you know the work you're getting involved in.
When they say training began in 2004, you mean in the USA in 2004?
That's an estimation. I wouldn't say that's extremely accurate, but
No,
yeah,
older than that.
yeah, especially
Older than that.
yeah, most likely much older. Yeah.
Ken, what is the pot? Do you know?
This is that's a good question. Almost looks like a Sarah Rayner pot, but maybe not. No. This might be a European pot here. What I love about this maple is if you, when it leaves out, it has a really nice salmony color for like the first
Spring,
leaves.
yeah.
Amazing. But that iconic S curve to it.
The leaves are coming.
This is Kenneth Clark.
His collection must have been worth a bit.
It's a small glimpse too. He has about 1,400 in his collection
Oh!
that are of this quality.
He's still got it. The collection's still there.
Yep.
Another beautiful tree. Who's training? Marco?
This
you?
one I styled.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's a little bit different for a juniper because all the
I like it.
branches were long and leggy, so it became more of this weaving style in the end.
Like it, beautiful. Unique. This is literati, but different. It is
Yeah,
literati.
it's a good, I never thought about it that way,
This
but I
is
guess it
literati.
is. Yeah.
Different.
Yep. Matt did a nice
This is
job
my
on
favorite
settling.
tree here.
All right. Nice.
Right.
My favorite tree. Because I like literati.
Yeah, he has an interesting way of defining it too. I never thought of it as like literati, but
Yeah.
it certainly fits.
It's a heavy literati, but
Yeah.
I mean, all the branches do start on. Didn't have a saw handy.
Didn't stay. Didn't hold up where it was.
Were the cherry trees planted when you created the collection?
It was. They were planted right around October last year. Right
Really?
before opening. Yep.
As big trees.
Yep, as big trees. We picked them out a couple years beforehand. This one definitely has that look to it. Yeah. This is another import, part of the Kenneth collection. Peter, if you can carry this one, you can take it home.
I'm here at the famous Longwood Gardens Bonsai collection, one of the most beautiful collections I've ever seen. The entire display is fairly recent, set up only in November of last year. You look at the paving, the gravel, the stands, and the trees are exquisite. Some of the very best that you can get anywhere in the world, because many of these come from Japan. And if we can go around to the other side, I have a very favorite tree here, which I think is my favorite. You look at it from that side, please, Dave. This unusual design of this juniper is what I call a contemporary literati juniper. Tall, sinuous style, but a very unusual branching there. Absolutely exquisite. Absolutely exquisite. The pot is appropriate, everything is appropriate. Top marks. If I can read it to you for those who don't want to read it themselves, it says here, this is the Bonsai Courtyard, opened in 2024, designed by Weiss, Manfredi and Reed Hildebrand. Every tree tells a story. Bonsai is the Japanese art of growing and shaping trees in containers to emulate mature trees' forms in the natural landscape. The name itself means tree in a pot. In bonsai, age is a revered characteristic. Trees can be in training for decades, even centuries, cared for by generations of artists and masters. Gnarled trunks, weathered bark, and growth patterns reflect the slow passage of time. World-class collection. Longwood began collecting bonsai trees after hosting an inspiring education program led by renowned bonsai artist Yuji Yoshimura in 1959. More recently, a donation of notable trees from the Kennett collection transformed our collection into one of the most significant public displays of Japanese trained trees in North America. We rotate the trees on display to showcase a wide diversity, seasonality and styles of our collection. I have not seen yet. This is a Chinese elm. Unusual style. Tuya. Tuya. I've never seen a tuya as bonsai. They're usually regarded as hedging plants.
Yes, they are.
I can't get over the beauty of these benches. Look at these great big oak logs. They are every bit 12 foot long, I would say, maybe 10 foot. And they're about 18-inch wide, 12-inch deep, could be even 2 foot wide. These are all world-class trees. Many of them are like kimura trees. I've lost count of the number of greenhouses. There must be many, yeah?
Yeah.
This fairly new one.
This is the newest, yes.